Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
And tonight we're going to be talking about The Flash!
Season 5, Episode 8, What's Past is Prologue.
Episode 100!
Yes, the 100th episode! Woohoo!
Wow, like seriously, it does not
God.
feel like it's been that long.
It doesn't.
Like...
But then when they went back to the past and that stuff was happening with the particle accelerator, I didn't remember that scene with the plane. And you're like, that happened in the pilot. And I'm like, I was focusing on the fact that Barry was struck by lightning and in a coma and all this other stuff. I didn't pay attention to a small plane getting broken apart.
Yeah, but then they also went and redid that, the episode when he woke up. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know that was the promo.
No,
like, when, they were...
Yeah, when Iris...
He had to do
when they had the flashbacks. Yeah.
No, like, when he had to, the first time Joe found out who he was.
Oh, yeah.
When he was saving Joe after his partner got shot at the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to run counterclockwise to the tornado that Weather Wizard did. Because that night, he had survived in the plane, but his brother died.
Yeah.
So...
Because I remember Weather Wizard, and I remember him stopping the tornado, you know, getting in there and, like, doing what he did to stop that. Yeah. But I just don't remember the plane thing.
Yeah, when it went back and started talking about him as a character, it showed the plane thing again. So you saw it like twice within a couple episodes. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's still been a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 2014.
Very true.
So, yeah.
What? It's... Yeah, saying the year just makes it seem so much...
The show started in 2014.
It does not seem like I was that young.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean that young?
Well, I mean, dude, not this Friday, but next Friday.
Yeah.
Like, I think when the show started, since it started in 14... Not December of 14,
October.
But I was 23.
So was I.
I know. But next Friday, I'll be 28. It does not seem like it started when I was...
Time goes fast.
It does.
Really fast. Like, these
does not
last
make
2
me
months,
happy.
I don't know what happened, but it's like they almost didn't even happen. Right? They were so fast. Mm-hmm. Like, where did November go?
I don't know.
Like, literally. Right. I mean, it's just like... I mean, you know? Mm-hmm. So...
I loved this episode.
It was
so
really
much.
Good.
It was so good.
I loved that they were playing back in time. That was so appropriate and, like, special to, you know, what they were doing, and that it was the 100th episode and time travel and everything. It just, it made my fangirl heart happy.
Yes.
Because it's Back to the Future.
I loved that when they went back to the particle accelerator, and they were like, Nora was like, why don't we just run there? And he was talking about like how Thawne would be able to feel them tap into the Speed Force, and she's like, she said, I can something about reaching out through the Speed Force. Oh, yeah. It like just reminded me of Star Wars like so much.
The way she said it.
Yes. Like, she was trying to reach through the bars to touch Grodd. Like, why would you touch Grodd?
Because she doesn't really probably know that much about Grodd.
I mean, they have a Grodd thing at the Flash Museum.
Yeah.
But she probably doesn't know that he started out as a pet gorilla in Star Labs.
Right.
Like, if she'd known that was Grodd, then, like, I don't know.
Because they focused on the sign after they walked past.
And Grodd wasn't as big.
No, he wasn't.
So, that was back when he was young. When he was a youngin'. Mm-hmm. We was all youngins back then.
Stop.
But yeah, there's a big revelation. There's 2 big revelations, and we'll talk about those at the end.
The hell?
But excluding the revelations that we discover at the end of the episode, what did you like about the episode?
I mean, you know, I liked seeing the stuff when they went back in the past, and I enjoyed, like...
It was very much a clip show tonight.
It was. And I mean, it was appropriate, because it's the 100th episode. They deserve it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's, you know, it's fine. But when Sisko was like, are you more surprised that I threw your dagger into outer space, or that I'm still alive and you thought you killed me?
Yeah, that was good. But for one, why would you tell him where you put it?
I don't...
And for 2, out of all of space and time that you can vibe to, you chose outer space. Close to Earth.
Yeah.
You could have vibed it to the general vicinity of where Krypton should be. I mean, like, really? Or vibing to the quantum zone.
No, send it to the Delta Quadrant, because then it would take 75,000 light years for it to come back to Earth.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, that's not DC canon. That's
I know.
Trek.
But still. Or send it to another dimension or time or something.
You could have sent it to outer space on whatever the hell Earth Supergirl's on. Because they obviously don't have to deal with Cicada because the Flash doesn't exist.
Send it to Earth 90.
Too soon. Too soon. August is like, what the hell is going on? But I mean, really, like, Supergirl's Earth does not have the Flash, so therefore the villains that the Flash faces, they don't have it. They never had the particle accelerator explosion.
Yeah,
so no metahumans for that. They should have sent it there. They could have sent it to, like, outer space there, or, I don't know, just vibe it to Supergirl herself.
Hey, Supergirl, you want the dagger that belongs to Cicada? Here, keep it away from him.
Hey, Supergirl, here's a dagger of ultimate destruction that can sap away Flash's strength.
Oh, they're dealing with enough right now. They're dealing with Agent Liberty and then trying to get rid of aliens to save humanity. So.
But it's just a group of humans. The Flash is dealing with meta-humans.
There's metas on Supergirl.
They're aliens, not meta. It's not that weird, Cat. Okay,
but
we can be happy.
But anyway, also the foreshadowing when Wells said vibe.
Yeah. Like, I know that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
But that they could go back and put that in, it was pretty cool.
Right. It was pretty
cool. I thoroughly enjoyed everything about, like...
And I mean, when Barry told Nora about, you know, Thawne and, like, what he did, and, like, the extent of that, and everything...
Just looking up at the light. No matter what I do, he doesn't lose concentration.
And then, you know, just like when Nora was like went to the house and was like looking at Henry and Nora, I was just like, oh crap, please don't do anything. Please don't do anything. Please don't screw up the timeline again. Please don't do anything. I was like, the whole time I was thinking that she was gonna like do something. And then I was like, okay.
Right? Because she's like, don't you ever think about
right? And then like in her journal she had the picture of them.
Yeah.
And so I thought that meant she was going to change something. And I was like, no, please, no.
Yeah.
You know, and then Barry showed up and I'm like, no. In a way, like, yeah, I think part of the reason he didn't want Nora to come was because of, like, what she said. Mm-hmm. But I think also part of the reason that it was good that she came was that in a way she helped him not mess anything up.
Right.
Because
without her, he wouldn't have been able to get the piece of Savitar clothing.
Right. And also because, with her there, it makes him think about, it makes him think about it from a different perspective because she's his daughter and he's going to do what he can to protect her. So he's not going to do anything that's going to potentially screw something up again.
Right.
And he's also learned his lesson with that. And so, as much as he misses his parents and wishes that he could do something to change that, he knows that he can't do that. He knows that that is a fixed point and he can't change that because it is always going to happen.
Right.
It is inevitable.
Right.
So.
And as we learned about fixed points last night.
So, I mean, of course it's hard. It's always going to be something that is going to be hard for him to deal with, but I think he's in a lot better place than he was.
Yeah.
And he's in a place where he can move on from it and, or at least start to move on from it and realize that there's other things that he needs to focus on that are more important. So, because no matter what happens, it's always going to go back to that.
Yeah. And, it just reminds me of a quote from the first Harry Potter. It was Dumbledore when he found Harry in front of the mirror, Vera said. And he was like, "It does not do to dwell on dreams, Harry, and forget to live."
Yeah, it's true.
So, wise Dumbledore.
I mean, you had them for 11 years. They were the best parents.
Right.
But,
I mean, it doesn't help that he actually saw her die.
Right. I mean, that, of course, is going to be the most traumatic thing.
Right.
And like he said to Nora, Thawne wanted that.
Yeah. But he didn't actually tell her that he watched his mom die. He was just, I lost her at 11.
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, Thawne wanted that traumatic experience. He wanted him to be so broken by it that he wouldn't become the Flash, that none of that would happen. But he still did.
He became the Flash because Thawne was like, I need him to become the Flash because I lost my powers and I need to be able to zap the energy from him.
Yeah.
Because,
the person he looked up to was the person who was taking his freaking powers from him.
Because, logically speaking, if you stop the person who's supposed to become the Flash from tapping into the Speed Force at all, ever, and you became who you are because you're a fan of the very first original person who tapped into the Speed Force, then if that never happened, you never became a speedster. Therefore, of course you're going to be stuck back in time as a non-speedster because speed doesn't exist. He did not think that one through.
No, he did not.
But okay.
But yeah, I mean, he had them for 11 years. Like, they were good parents. But he also had Joe, and he had Iris, and he wouldn't have had any of that if he still had his parents.
Right.
I mean, he would have, but not in the same capacity. Like, he wouldn't have gotten to know Iris the way he did. He probably wouldn't have, loved her as much as he did then, until maybe later or something. But, there's a lot of things that would have been different. So, I mean, as shown in the Flashpoint and other timelines. But, yeah, I mean, that whole time, literally, I was scared that she was going to do something. So I'm really glad that she just left that alone.
Right.
And he did too. But, yeah.
I was kind of like, when he told Nora to grab a piece of Savitar's armor, I was like, what is she gonna see? And I totally forgot how they defeated Savitar. Like,
I did too.
Not that, like, Barry, like, possessed his armor and broke it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. I forgot that Iris flat out shot the guy to kill him.
I forgot that too. Because that was last season, right?
Oh.
Oh, wait. Last season was The Thinker.
Mm-hmm.
So season 3 was Savitar.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah. Yep.
It's so weird to think that it's been that long.
I know.
Like, they got together in season 3.
Yeah.
And then they got married in season 4.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, and he spent like all of season 1 and into 2 like loving her.
Yeah.
And,
well, he spent season 1 trying to stay away because she had a boyfriend.
Yeah. And then the timeline got changed.
No.
Well, the first kiss they had in season 1 got erased because of the timeline.
Yeah, but she was still with Eddie back then.
No, I know,
Anyway.
but I'm just saying. Like, you know, and then he was with other people in season 2 and all that, and she had that time where she was not dating anybody, and then she realized that she did have feelings for him. And
after
then,
she dated her boss.
Yeah. And then, you know, he screwed up the timeline and created Flashpoint. And then they got together. And it was Savitar.
Yeah.
Like,
after finally landing the girl, he has to worry about her death at the end of the season. Well, it was also, dude, that's also the season that Killer Frost, like, when Caitlin lost her, like, herself to Killer Frost and became evil. And
season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she sided with Savitar.
But Julian was in 4, right? Tom Felton. Was he in the beginning of 4?
Mm-mm,
he was in 3?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because that happened at the beginning of 3 because of Flashpoint, which ended the first couple episodes.
Why does that feel like so much more recent than it is?
Because it was a good story arc, and we choose to believe that last season didn't exist because it sucks.
I mean, the first half of it was okay.
It was.
Up to the wedding.
Barry was in jail.
Up to the wedding, and then after that, it just went to crap.
I enjoyed the part when Barry was in jail. That was my favorite part of the season.
And the wedding.
The wedding was good too, yes. I loved it. Don't forget to say I do too.
Because that's when we first see Nora in that crossover.
Yeah.
So.
Don't forget to say I do.
But yeah, I mean, so much has happened. But anyway, yeah, I didn't even remember how Savitar was killed either, honestly.
Yeah. And then...
Because season 1 was Thawne, season 2 was Zoom, season 3 was Savitar, season 4 was The Thinker, and then this season it's Cicada.
Yeah. But we're also forgetting that at the end of 3, not only did he save his future wife after she committed murder, but on him. But he also left reality to live in the Speed Force at the end of that season. And
so she was
came
going
back at the first couple episodes of season 4. He came back spouting nonsense and writing speed language.
Yeah. And he left with the possibility of not returning, so Iris might not have had him come back.
And I quote, "This place is bitchin'." Was it this place or this house?
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, like, I didn't remember how Savitar was killed.
Yeah.
So what did you think she was gonna see?
I just thought that she was gonna see, like, him destroy Savitar and that Savitar was him. Not that, oh yeah, not only was Savitar an evil version of my dad, but my mom killed him.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, But, like, did you see that, like, she's like, Mom just killed Dad. Like, the look on her face, my mom just killed my dad. It's not really my dad, but it's my dad. But not really.
It looks like my dad. It sounds like my dad, but it's not my dad.
Right? It kind of looks like my dad. Sounds like my dad. It's my dad with a really messed up face. With a darker tone in its voice.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just... I forgot she shot him.
I liked when they were going through the Speed Force and seeing all this scenes.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of annoyed that they focused more on the scenes of the more recent events.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, we just saw that, and that season was crap. Can you please skip forward to the good stuff?
I mean, the thing where Iris was in the costume was cool.
Yes, I did enjoy that bit. Was that last season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. That was not another season. That was season 4.
I know.
Don't mess with me like that.
I was just trying to get you.
No, that was season 4. I know that was season 4.
Yeah. I was trying to get you to, like, wait, was it? I had so much fun with this episode. It was.
And she made up a time language?
Okay, I guess we're there.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was the other revelation you were talking about.
Revelation. It's fine. We're there. It's happened. We've reached the end. I was gonna talk about how evilly stupid it is that Sherlock stole the notebook.
Yeah.
Because it had the writing and copied it to the database.
And also, Killer Frost. Let's dance Cricket Green.
Oh, that was great. I loved that. Oh, I love Killer Frost. I love this version of Killer Frost. She's amazing. This season.
She is.
Like, oh.
What did she say? Cricket Creep or something like that?
Let's dance Cricket Creep. I think.
Yeah.
It was great either way. It made me happy on the inside.
And then Cisco's like, Cricket Creep, and she's like, it just came out.
Yes. We got to see Ronnie again.
We did, and Stein.
It just brought back so much.
It did.
I was trying to figure out why it kind of looked weird to see Wells or Thawne. And I figured it out just now.
Why?
It's because just like in that Superman movie that they did, the Death of Superman, or whatever, the death one where he died.
Yeah.
How he had a mustache because of a different movie that he was filming at the same time. So they didn't shave it off.
Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah. So they didn't shave it off. They just, like, colored it out.
CGI'd.
Yeah.
And it looked like crap.
And
it was very noticeable.
So,
although I didn't notice it.
So you know how this season's Wells is bearded? That's why he looked kind of weird in the new footage we got of the season 1 Wells. Is because they CGI'd the beard away. Because there's no way in hell he's going to grow all that back for the rest of the season. They CGI'd that sucker. Oh. Like, I knew it looked a little weird, and I was wondering why.
Sometimes I don't notice it.
Yeah. But I was just like, it he looks slightly different than he did at the during the speech that he just gave. What's wrong here?
Oh, when they were in the room with Gideon?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. When they were listening to him give the speech and then talk to Cisco.
Okay.
Like, you could tell that they CGI'd that away because we never saw that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yes, time language, book. Girl be smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that that we learned that she was writing it so that no matter what happens,
she'd always remember.
Right. But then I'm like, so you created this language how long ago so that you'd be able to understand it in the future where, like, none of this happened?
Yeah. And I mean, the future might not be the same future for her as what she knows. It could change.
Well, she's going back and forth between it.
No, without them knowing. I'm just saying, like, future is not fixed. Future can change.
Yeah, because when they went back to ask Dawn for help to fix the thing, and he was like, "You must be Dawn," and she's like, "Nora
Dawn Allen."
Maybe, we don't know. But he looked at Barry and he's like, "At least you still have one of them. Messing with time is a fickle thing." And I'm like, so he came from a future where he had Dawn and Dawn, but because everything got effed up, he only has Nora. Like, I'm just like...
I mean, I love the fact that Nora is their daughter. But... but are we going to still get Dawn and Dawn, or are we just not gonna get that?
He seemed like he didn't have any idea who Nora was. And he knew every aspect of Barry's life. So, if he didn't know who Nora was, then Nora never existed until Barry effed stuff up.
Yeah.
Except, what's confusing me is that he knew about Cisco and Caitlin. Well, Caitlin, her powers were never affected by...
the particle accelerator.
Right. But Cisco's was.
Mm-hmm. So
he knew about Cisco. And that was, once again, revealed to us tonight.
Right.
He's like, I vibe that we're gonna... It's like, okay, he knows. But if they would have continued on this timeline, Cisco would have never become Vibe.
Yeah.
If we would have continued on that straight timeline without Flashpoint, he would have never been Vibe. He wasn't Vibe before Flashpoint.
Yeah. It's all because of Flashpoint that his powers were even activated.
Mm-hmm. So then the question becomes... at what point does Dawn and Dawn cease to exist and Nora become a possibility if that was always supposed to be the future?
I mean, maybe there still is the twins, but right now we just know about Nora.
But Nora has stated it was just me and Mom.
Yeah.
So the twins don't exist because Barry's gone.
Yeah. Unless he comes back and they have more, and then you have Dawn and Dawn.
This is a possibility. Because he should be coming back.
Because, I mean, you know, there was never any indication that there weren't more than just Dawn and Dawn. They could have had more kids than just them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Nora could have been the oldest, and then they could have had Dawn and Dawn.
Right.
The Tornado Twins. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, your theory's, you know, plausible because they might not exist in this timeline. But at the same time, there was all these references and all these mentions of Tornado Twins and Dawn and all this stuff in previous seasons. So there's got to be some type of twist or some type of thing that they're doing that still indicates that there's going to be that and they're going to be there, but it just doesn't seem like it right now.
Right.
You know?
I mean, that could have been the thing that he alluded to when, because he said, Nora shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, we're going to need a lot more diapers.
Yeah.
Now, there's only one baby, so why do you need a lot more diapers? Maybe he was talking about the future and he has twins?
Yeah, maybe there is multiple kids.
And why was he writing in his daughter's made-up language?
Maybe that's part of the Speed Force. Maybe that's her way of connecting those memories that she doesn't want to forget about Barry through the Speed Force. Because, yeah, she said she created it.
It could be the Speed Force giving her the ability to understand.
Yeah, kind of like Krypton. Or kind of like that language.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with all the symbols.
Yeah.
I mean, he can understand it because, like, you know, he's from there, of course. But also because, like, you know, the Fortress has those symbols and that language too. So, like, he's able to connect with that and understand it through those things. And maybe even if Nora created it, maybe
the Speed Force influenced it.
Yeah, and Barry saw it through that when he was there.
Because all things happen at once.
Right. So maybe he somehow was connected to it when he was in the Speed Force. Mm-hmm. And that's why he was saying all this gibberish and all this comprehensible language because of that reason. Right. I mean, you know.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So she created the language.
Unless she's lying.
I don't know.
But I don't think she is.
At this point, I really don't know. But when we go back to Sherlock and he's looking at the screen,
mm-hmm.
like, it said, like, the timeline is malleable.
Yeah, malleable.
And I'm like, this is what she's writing. She's writing how to F up time to her own advantage.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not, like, she claims that it's just so she can remember her dad. But she's finding things out about her dad, writing them down, mm-hmm. so that no matter how she messes with time, she'll always know what actually happened, even if she makes all that disappear.
Yeah. So she might have actually known about Thawne.
No.
She didn't?
No, okay. Not with the reaction she had.
So, yeah, that she didn't already know about.
And I think that's why it hit her the most,
mm-hmm.
is because she's effing working with him!
The hell?
What?
Seriously, the bloody hell. Like,
we saw him evaporate into nothingness in season 1.
Yeah.
After Eddie killed himself.
Yeah, Eddie sacrificed himself.
Now his sacrifice was for nothing! Which I don't really care about because I didn't care about the character, but still!
I mean, hey, he's in the way of Barry and Iris. Get out of the way so they can be together. Like, I don't care. Leave.
Right. Oh, my Lanta. Oh. Just. She's scanning her diary
like,
into Gideon.
To talk. And he's like, yes. Yes, we do.
She's scanning her diary into Gideon.
Her data entries to Thawne.
Because he has a Gideon post in his jail cell.
She's sending the data entries to Thawne.
But he would already know it. She's basically just telling him at what point they are in the story.
What, so he can F it up more?
Maybe. But she doesn't know that.
I mean, he already did the worst possible thing that he could do, aside from killing Iris. He killed his mother.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless Nora wants to lose her mom, like, right. She should probably not be working with him. Yeah. So, because, I mean, she doesn't have the same opinion of Iris that she had before.
Right.
She actually likes her mom now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she is pretty shocked that her mom actually killed someone.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
I mean, I knew that Nora was, like, you know, hiding a lot of things and doing a lot of stuff, but she's done a lot more things than anybody's let on. I mean,
yeah.
She's done more than Barry has in terms of, like, changing things and messing things up.
Yeah.
You know, she's been all over, and she's, you know, done a lot of things.
She seems very at home. She seems too at home with time travel.
Yeah.
And that's just.
I mean, you know, if you're doing it just because, like, you just really want to be a part of a certain event or experience something from the past that's, like, meaningful to you, then that's different. But if you're doing it to, like, change things to your own accord and your own benefit and messing everybody else's life up in the process, then that's not okay.
Right? I mean, I understand visiting your dad.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, in Timeless, for instance, they're going back to these time periods to try to stop the bad people, Rittenhouse, from changing history into the way they believe that it should be, instead of leaving it the way that everybody knows it to be. So, you know, they're going back there to do good. And in the process, they're getting to experience meeting these people that are inspirational to them or that they admire. So that's different. But what she's doing is, like, you know, going through time and going into the future and being like, okay, I want to remember these things about my dad and about my parents, but I'm going to get rid of this so that this doesn't happen and so that these things can happen.
Yeah, I think what she's trying to do is rewrite the future to where her dad never vanishes.
Yeah. But that might end up being a fixed point, too.
Oh, it definitely is. It's a fixed point, period. That has to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's an actual storyline. Like, it has to happen.
Right. It has to happen that way.
I mean, there's no indication that he doesn't necessarily come back.
Exactly.
But he's just missing.
Yeah.
He could come back. They didn't say, oh, he died. And like and like it is in all these things. If there ain't no body, he's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, yeah, he might be missing for a long amount of time, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to come back.
Right. And now because you went back and visited him, he's not going to come back to a stranger as his child. He's going to come back to someone he knows.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, I don't know. Like, I just... I'd...
Right? I'm just so, like... I don't even know
how I feel about her now. Like, I don't even know if I trust her. Like,
I don't trust her anymore. Like, I loved her. She was, like, an amazing character and an amazing addition. And now I'm just like, girl, you get the hell out. Like, no. Go.
The thing that just makes me sad, though, is that when they find out what she's doing, they're gonna feel so betrayed by their own daughter.
But you know what I think it is? Originally... I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Okay. I think that because her mom never told her about her dad, and all she knew was what was written on those little tiny cards in a museum.
Yeah.
He knew her dad.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew him. He had stories to tell.
Yeah. But apparently he didn't tell all of them because Barry's still sharing things with her that she didn't know.
Right. But, like
he said, there's a lot of things about me that aren't in the Flash Museum that I've gone through.
Right. And she discovered some of those tonight.
Yeah.
But I think that's why she was working with him. Mm-hmm. Because even though he was locked up, he was her teacher.
Yeah.
He probably explained to her how to travel through time, how to not attract the attention of the time wraiths, how to do what she needed to do in order to learn from who she wanted to learn from.
Yeah.
He was helping her this entire time. Of course, it was with some added benefit to him.
See, that's like Barry with thinking that, Wells. Well, he looked up to Wells, and it was Thawne the whole time. So it's like the same thing. He was a teacher to him, and he looked up to him, and then when he found out that he was Thawne, he's like, oh, hell no.
Right.
I hate you now because you killed my mom. Like,
Yeah. And, like, something is going to happen. He's going to get out. And...
So they're not only going to have Cicada, but they're also going to have Thawne.
I think it's going to happen at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like, they'll probably just defeat Cicada, and then Thawne shows up.
And they'll be like, what the hell, Nora? What did you do?
And Nora will be standing there like, I didn't mean for this to happen.
Kind of like when she first showed up and said, this is a mistake. I made a big mistake.
Yeah. Which was a lie.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she was wearing something that put the negative tachyons inside of her that didn't allow her to go back in time to her present in the future.
Yeah.
There was no mistake that she did that caused that to happen. She did it to herself. So I made a big mistake and I'm stuck. That's bull. Like, how many of the things that she's told us is actually a lie? What can we trust? I don't trust.
I just feel bad for Barry and Iris, honestly, because she's their daughter,
right?
Or is she?
Oh, girl, you are right. I never thought of that. What the hell? Oh my gosh!
That would explain the children's situation.
It would! And holy hell, like... Okay, like... that one... Because when they went to go visit Thawne, he listed off an ass load of names, right? They're all speedsters in the future. They're all people that, like, some of them are people Barry knew, and some of them are, like, people he trained, some of them aren't, but they're all, like, speedsters. And it's like, maybe she's actually one of them.
Maybe, because XS
is her name. Right. Like,
and I mean, of course it's convenient that her name is Nora.
Or is it?
Nora West Allen.
Or is it? Like, what?
I just opened up a whole can of worms.
You did. And it's something I did not think of.
But I mean, seriously, what can we trust?
Nothing.
Like, what can we trust and what can we not trust? I mean, we don't know what she's telling the truth about and what she is. Or if she's even telling the truth at all. She could just be impersonating, like, their daughter and not even really be their daughter.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Which seriously pisses me off in a way, because they think that they're getting to know their daughter and they're loving their daughter and they're treating her as their daughter. Right. And then if it ends up that she's not actually their daughter, it's going to be like all hell breaks loose. Mm-hmm. So, like, seriously, Nora, what the hell are you doing?
She could be. Oh,
I'm proud of myself.
I'm proud of you. Like, like, there's this speedster from the future that, like, is evil, but is kind of, sort of, like, related, but is, like, a clone-ish thing of someone from Barry's lineage. Mm-hmm. And she wears green and kind of looks like a bug. But I think.
What?
But I'm freaking blanking on her name.
I have no clue.
I know.
I'm not familiar with all the comic book characters.
Yeah, I think her name started with an F. But, like, what if it's her?
There's all these possibilities now.
She's from so far in the future.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that she's really their daughter? Do you guys trust her? Tell us.
Question everything!
From this point on, literally question everything that Nora does.
Question everything she's ever done.
Yeah. And in their present, question everything she's going to do. So, yeah.
Maybe there's a reason. Maybe the reason why she gave the cold shoulder to Caitlin and Wells in the coffee shop last season, when she was making her, like, meeting with everyone, was because they're smart. They were the only two that figured her out.
I mean, Sherlock is going to figure her out.
Yeah, because he stole her book and copied it into the system. Mm-hmm. But, like...
How did he copy that whole thing into the system? That whole language?
And he scanned the book.
Oh, just scanned it?
Yeah. Scanned the pages. Because, I mean, all Cisco
So that's how she writes her entries. They're all in that language? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So obviously Thawne understands.
Mm-hmm. Because he's from so far in the future. Like, he's from further in the future than she is. Yeah. He is from centuries into the future. Mm-hmm. Like, beyond centuries into the future. Mm-hmm. And so, this language was already created. And...
by Nora.
Yeah.
Or did she create it? I mean... Okay, let's talk about the ending scene, because that was in the Supergirl episode and the Flash episode, so I'm assuming that they're going to show it at the end of all three shows that are going to be in the crossover.
They probably showed it last night.
They probably showed it after Arrow, at the end of Arrow, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Earth 90, OG Flash, with his awesome as heck suit. Mm-hmm. He even said on Twitter, he's like, as grateful as I am for the original Flash suit, there have been some, like, things that have been upgraded on this one. But, because somebody was like, is this one as uncomfortable as your original one was in the 90s? And he's like, well, I'm grateful for that one, but this one has had some, adjustments. So.
Well, it would have to. He has a different body type now.
So, yeah. I mean, but I loved that it had the actual, like, bolts.
Yeah, it was legit just framed after.
Yeah.
Like, almost the same material and everything.
It was so cool. I was, like, super excited. And I'm super excited to see him in the crossover. So, bring it on! Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Right. But in that little clip that we got at the end, Earth 90, we saw a bunch of helmets on the ground of dead Legionnaires.
We did.
Because,
Hi.
we were told that Nora had been, like, part of the Legion or something, like, in whatever year or whatever, right? That she was a fresh recruit of the Legion. Well, the Legion is a group of people that we met in Supergirl.
Yep.
In
Superman too. Not Superman, but I mean
Smallville.
Yeah.
I mean that they were just starting in Smallville.
Yeah.
But when I think of the Legion, I think of Saturn Girl and Triplicate Girl and Bouncing Boy and Lightning Lad and all these amazing people. And I just really want to see a live action Triplicate Girl. Like I need to see that. Yeah. She was my favorite character, guys. My favorite character. But I'm just like, okay. Because we saw the golden helmet of...
Hawkgirl.
No, before that. Remember in last year's crossover, where they had... No, it wasn't last year's. It was season 3's. Where they had...
The last year's one was that whole, like, red scare, like, Nazi-ish type crossover.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Okay, then I am talking about last year's.
Where there was, like, you know, the other world, but it was, like...
Yeah.
The other side, and like, they existed in that world.
They existed as evil counterparts. Yeah. Yes, in that world, where Captain Cold was a good guy and fighting for justice with his boyfriend, the gold guy.
The gold guy.
He had like gold in his hero name, and the helmet we saw laying on the ground sure as hell looked like his. And then we saw Green Arrow's body. Okay, that suit for the Arrow, it legit looked like the one from Smallville. Like, I'm not kidding. It looked like the Smallville Arrow costume. It was that shiny green, you know, like plasticky look.
Of the early 2000s.
Yes. Which really was out of place in that dark, dank, dreary world.
Right.
But
it was just made better.
It was. You had this white, pasty-ass dude wearing it laying on the ground. So, I mean... But, like, all the cloaks and everything like that, you know? It's just like, those were all fallen heroes.
Yeah.
All people who died trying to protect the universe and all the multi-dimensions. Yeah. And there was Hawkgirl's helmet. I sure hope it wasn't the same actress, because kill me now. But Hawkgirl is my favorite. Not the version that we've had. He's cleaning himself on your remote.
I moved.
Your cat is very unsanitary. But, like, it was... The version of Hot Girl we got, I did not... I mean, I appreciated that they went with a non-white girl, you know, that they kind of went a little bit more colorful with the actress and
diverse.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. I enjoyed that. I liked her entrance into the into the show, into the universe.
On Legends of Tomorrow.
I did not like her on Legends of Tomorrow. I did not mind her with Ray, but that was the only good...
Well, Ray never has a girlfriend for a very long time.
I know. But that was the only time I liked her, was when she was with Ray.
Yeah.
Otherwise, her character meant nothing.
I liked them too, but I also really liked him.
Yes. That's a relationship he needs to keep.
It is.
But the idea of the character and the past versions that we have gotten in other versions of the DC universe, that's what I like. I don't like this incarnation that we've had. So I'm kind of hoping that, like, this incarnation that we had was what was dead laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And then, like, we're gonna get the reincarnation. And she's gonna be cooler. Like, that's my hope. But yes, so, if you guys didn't know, I forgot his name, because I'm just bad with names.
I'm bad with names too.
But, the guy holding the book, it's,
I don't know.
He's like a guardian, like an overseer, kind of.
I just know that word because it's Star Trek. Cisco's an emissary.
Yeah. But, like, he's been watching our planet since its inception. Since everything went boom and it was created. Like, he watched the planet get formed, he watched the things crawl out of the dirt and out of the mud and the water, and he watched as things evolved, and how, like, he watched as humans grew and became who we are. Like,
he was like God, but not God.
Right, he just watched.
He was an observer.
Yes.
Of the creation process.
Yes, and he was...
Regardless of what you believe.
Mm-hmm. That was his job, was just strictly to observe. But he did one thing that they were not supposed to do. No. He saw the good in people, and he wanted to help. And he got too attached. And I don't know if this is him or one of the other guys of his kind, of his people. Because I know that, the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor. That's what they're called, the Monitors. And I think this is the Anti-Monitor, and the Monitor is going to have to, like, step in to, like, help, or, I don't know, whatever. But I think this one is the Anti-Monitor, and so that's what we're going into. That's why it sells worlds. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. Live, like we've been saying the past 2 reviews, we're going to be live Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for all 3 episodes of the crossover. So come and join us. 8 Pacific.
8/7.
So yeah, you're gonna get to see that. It is gonna be awesome and, like, amazing. And
I mean, that's only the time that it's on.
Mm-hmm.
It'll actually be 10 p.m. in Central Time. But the episode airs an hour. Like, it airs at 7 Central Time and 8 our time.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're doing the live stream, it'll be 10 p.m.
Central means the center.
Yeah.
It'll be...
Central is 2 hours ahead.
Okay. Central. Then how is it 7 Central?
I don't know.
That's Mountain Standard Time.
Right? Because Mountain Time's an hour ahead. Central's 2. Eastern is 3.
Yeah. Like...
And we're Pacific Time. So
yeah.
We see everything last, basically.
So, basically, tune into our channel at 8 on Saturday, Sunday, and... not Saturday, on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sorry. I'm just, like...
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yes, on Sunday, Monday,
normal
Tuesday.
days that we review.
Yes. Tune in at 8 for our live streams. And, yeah. So you guys got that to look forward to. I'm so excited.
I think this is, like I said before, I think this is going to be the best crossover they've had so far.
Mm-hmm. They try to outdo themselves every year.
They do.
So...
but this year, I think they truly did outdo themselves.
yes.
So, yeah.
Can't wait.
We'll have to see for ourselves.
Yes. So, I guess, until next time, keep believing in the impossible.